My name is Tarmack, and this is your Game Industry News Wrap-Up for the week of March 18th, 2017. Blizzard Entertainment is going after a German company called Bossland, who is responsible for a number of cheat tools, such as the rather infamous Honor Buddy bot for WoW, which grinds for you in PvP. Blizzard is alleging that Bossland infringes upon copyrights and also acts in violation of the anti-circumvention section of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Effectively, much like the Nintendo case related to mod chips I reported on last week, Blizzard is claiming that this anti-circumvention is worthy of compensation on their part. The difference, and what I would have hoped the courts saw in Canada, is that we own our hardware and should be able to mod it as we see fit as consumers, but with World of Warcraft there is no such ownership for an online-only service. Let's just say that I won't be surprised if Blizzard tail swipes Bossland into the whelps. Continuing down the train of Blizzard news, rumors abound on a possible Starcraft remaster. According to industry insiders, as reported by a Korean media outlet, we could see a remastered version of the original Starcraft and possibly Brood War with original game mechanics, but a proper facelift as soon as May or June of this year. Which is great because so many of the professional StarCraft 2 players have already gone back to Brood War in a long exodus from Blizzard's more recent iteration. And so far, Blizzard has done an exceptional job with remastering their games, given the showcase Diablo 1 Retro event, which was so well received by gamers. Rumors were confirmed this week that Kevin Bruner, CEO of Telltale Games, will be stepping down. Co-founder Dan Connors is going to be assuming the role of CEO going forward. This move was an inevitability built into the company from the start, and even had players been provided the opportunity to attempt to alter the course and ensure that Kevin remained the head of the company, those efforts would have been all for nothing. Was that subtle enough? Windows Central reports that through their own trusted sources, the iterative Xbox console Project Scorpio is going to have an internal power supply and be able to capture 4K resolution 60 frames per second game footage, but not just for DVR, but also for streaming. Take that in for a moment. Scorpio is supposed to be able to stream 4K game footage due to its hardware encoding. Now granted, hardware encoding isn't as good as software, but that's still an impressive claim to fame. Now, if only Twitch could figure out how to handle 1080p with transcoding options for everyone instead of just partners first, there could be some real value here. Well, 4K decoding on Netflix streams is a pretty nifty feature for a console. What if it also tastes bad? And the final story of the week that I want to talk about, the console market shrunk by 2.5% in 2016. This is an aggregate value across all hardware, software, and service revenue. Based on historical data from 360 Market Updates, a market research repository, the game industry itself is expected to grow at a rate somewhere between 6 and 7% every year through 2020. So to have a year where the console market actually shrunk by 2.5% is pretty significant. And it means a migration towards PC and mobile gaming via Android and iOS. It is worth mentioning, of course, that Nintendo was largely absent for 2016, with both falling sales on the 3DS but also the effectively dead-in-the-water Wii U, so 2017 with the launch of the Switch will definitely change the story to some extent. It also remains to be seen just how much cannibalization the Switch will be responsible for on the slowing 3DS market, whether we're just replacing new 3DS purchases with a Switch instead. It will be interesting to see how all of this pans out. And as a new experimental feature for the wrap-up, any feedback would be great. Let's close up with my curated list of what's coming out over the next week. We're going to go over North American release dates because we should all know what VPNs are by now. Mass Effect Andromeda, BioWare's over-the-shoulder action RPG, releases on PS4, Xbox One, and PC via EA's Origin platform. Andromeda is unrelated to the original series in that Commander Shepard is not the focal point of the game, but as far as universe lore, the rest is supposed to carry forward with the franchise. BioWare's animation and dialogue game designer study guide will release on March 21st. Also on March 21st, Spiral House releases their game titled Troll and I on Steam, PS4, and Xbox One. Troll and I is a game where you can swap between a teenage boy named Otto and a troll named, I guess its name is Troll, in a way not too dissimilar to The Last Guardian. Though the game will also feature a co-op mode where each player simply plays as one of the two characters. I've never seen a Rastafarian troll before, but then I'd never seen a bird dog snake before either. Koei Tecmo's Toukiden 2, an open-world action hunter-style game, also launches on March 21st. Not sure I could pack many more buzzwords into it if I tried. The game has already been out for a bit in Japan, but now the English translated version will be hitting both PlayStation 4 and Steam. I could be wrong, but from the trailer, it kind of looks like the Japanese version of Captain Planet. And last, Vikings Wolves of Midgard, a shameless top-down Diablo-style hack-and-slash, releases on Steam March 24th. This one looks interesting as it combines Diablo-style movement and combat with Norse mythology and magic. It even sounds like they hired that girl who yells in the Witcher soundtrack. This has been your Game Industry News Wrap-Up for the week of March 18th, 2017. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and pop over to Discord to have a chat with other awesome folk. Link is in the description. I'm Tarmack. Thanks for watching.